what's your name and where you're currently based?
Ikonya Karoga Ginyo, and my name is Ikonya Karoga Ginyo, and I am based in Jersey City, New Jersey, and I am currently traveling the world, which is my new home.
I love that. The world is your new home. Love it. So on that note, then tell me, prior to joining WCA, what would you say was the biggest struggle, the biggest challenge in your life, and how was that affecting you?
Prior to joining WCA, I had many challenges that I had worked on throughout life, made progress with a number of them, and others I knew were still holding me back. Those included a feeling of a lack of worthiness. So that had impacted me both in terms of financial aspects and also through relationships, interpersonal relationships, both romantic and otherwise, familial and friendships.
Absolutely. So on that note, then tell me what made you the happiest about being part of WCA so far?
Well, when I was first accepted to WCA, that made me incredibly happy. I think that it was sort of a point of feeling that I was acceptable. And when I first arrived at the location, when the front door was open and Toma and Liam were present, and they just had radiated with so much energy and so much love, it allowed me to relax and let my guard down. And I knew that I was entering a safe space, and a space where not only was Tim Han and the team there with the capabilities to help me work through the past traumas and the challenges and help me elevate myself, quantum leap myself to the next place that I would be arriving at. And I was able to do those things in a place where I could be vulnerable and I would not be re-traumatized.
I love that. One thing that I noticed about you actually from day one is that day one I could feel, like composure was there today, and that was like honestly quantum leap from day one to day two to day three to today. Like you are so open, you are truly radiating that love, that confidence, that acceptance. Tell me what was the biggest breakthrough for you that made that shift?
Well, in terms of the biggest breakthroughs that I experienced thus far at WCA, I would say one was ex- the exer. Am I allowed to talk about what we do?
A little bit, as long as it's a bit vague, but it's okay.
One of the biggest breakthroughs that I experienced at WCA was when I imagined my future self in a very specific way, from a sensory perspective as well as like a cognitive perspective, and to step into the shoes of my future self. And I was able to experience what my relationships would be like and how I would actually address past challenges with individuals, times where I actually was not a good friend. I came to the awareness that I needed to make a request for or forgiveness, or at a minimum, to tell people close to me, people who had been there in my past, that I was sorry for what I had done. Also, during that visualization, I realized that I could accumulate material wealth, and that I was and am deserving of it. I think that all of the work together is really culminating in me becoming the individual who is going to be that future self and is going to lead that real life of my dreams.
Absolutely. So on that note, then, for people who are watching this and maybe they resonate with you and they resonate with what you had to go through just to be here today, but they still feel like they're afraid. Maybe they feel like, yes, I can't get good for you. You were brave enough to do it, but it's not for me. I'm too afraid. I'm not good enough. Like, what would you say to that person that they want to do it, but they're afraid to make it happen?
I would say for anyone who is experiencing fear as a form of resistance, a manifestation of resistance, It's actually your shell. It's an actual defense mechanism that is standing in the place between you and your optimal self. And the first step toward healing, the first step toward growth is working through that fear. If someone tries to wait until the fear subsides, they'll be waiting their whole life until they're on their deathbed. And I'm fortunate, I'm immensely fortunate, and I'm so thankful and so grateful to Tim and Toma and Liam for accepting me and having the faith that I could contribute. And another big part of a big part of WCA that I've experienced has been the ability to be there for others so they could be vulnerable, and to participate in the group and team exercises where helping others allowed me to better understand myself and to also grow within myself.